Evolution Another World, two-player game. Come on back after the break. Hey everybody, welcome to the show, Board Game Reviews. This is a YouTube channel dedicated to our wonderful tabletop gaming hobby. And this video is part of a video series looking at the game of Evolution Another World. Now, Evolution Another World is a 2 to 4 player game standard, but it also comes with an AI rule, which allows you to play a 2-player game, 1 player versus an AI. So effectively, it does make it a 1 to 4 player game, and it's for ages 11 and up, and the average play time is going to be about 20 to 40 minutes based on your player count. In this video, I'm going to show you some gameplay from the game so you can see exactly how the game works and see if this is going to be a game that's going to be good for you and your gaming group. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you leave them down in the YouTube comments down below. I do my best to answer those questions as quickly as I can. Also, feel free to email me off the shelf board game reviews. That is otsbgr@gmail.com. I do my best to answer those questions as quickly as I can. If you enjoy the content and you enjoy the videos I put out there, think about supporting the channel on Patreon. Just $1 in tip jar is a phenomenal way to say thank you. The channel is 100% sponsor free. Everything you see comes in my own pocketbook. Toss $1 in tip jar is a great way to help keep the channel going strong, but you don't even have to do that. Just 2 seconds and 2 mouse clicks. Click that like button, click that subscribe button, tells everybody out there in YouTube analytics land that this is a channel that's worth watching. That's enough for the chitter chat. Let's bring everything down to the table and start a 2-player game of Evolution Another World. So we're going to try to make this gameplay video go pretty darn quick. My goal is to make this video be in under 30 minutes with the intro and everything else. So let's go and make those moves as quickly as possible. Again, if you want to actually see some tutorial, a quick overview or review of the game, or learn about the solo rules, check out the other videos in the series. So player number 1 is going to start over here on my left, so they will gain the player number 1 token. Our first starting source card is going to be the Torrid Desert. Since we're playing a 2-player game, that does mean we are only going to have 2 energy crystals. We have player 1 over here, and then we have player number 2 who's going to be right over here with their hand of cards. So let's start everything out with player number 1, who has her starting hand of cards, 1 creature in play, vampiric, metamorphic, vengeful, fireproof, or, we can spin these all the way around for the different abilities on every single one of these cards. So looking at my hand of cards, let's go ahead and start things off and figure out exactly what we want to do. So remember, the biggest thing we need to understand about playing the game of Evolution, just like all the games in the Evolution series, it's all about the most efficient use of the combinations. The combinations you use can help you get the victory in the game. Bad combination use is going to cause you to lose every single time you play the game. This game is a little more unique among all the Evolution games because we're basically racing to become the third, or to gain our 3rd transformation. So this game does have a little bit different tempo to it from the other Evolution series of games, which can be very, very important. So the first thing I will do, since I actually like all these cards, which means the first start is always painful, always painful, is I am going to put this creature into play. That's my first of my 2 optional actions. And then I will take this. Let's see here. I'm thinking that I want fireproof because fireproof is nice. I am going to make this creature fireproof, which means that I don't have to worry about having any fire breathing, removing my ability to keep traits on my creatures. Those are my 2 actions. Now I must pick one of my creatures to go ahead and activate. I'm going to activate this creature right here because it doesn't really matter at this point. I will take 1 from the source, and that's going to be it for this player's turn. Now we get to go player number 2. Player number 2 starts with their full hand of cards. We have some very good cards out here and all these different things that we can do. And I am already seeing that we don't want to get fire breathing out there too quickly because we see that not only do we have 2 of them, but it's not going to help us. And remember, we are dealing with a very, very empty source at the start of this game, creating a very unique gameplay that we need to have. Although we do have Fearsome, so I could plan this very, very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the fact that I have Caring and I have Charming. Caring says when this creature gains any energy, it may transfer 1 energy to a friendly creature once per turn. But the other one I'm really looking at is the power of Charming. When a friendly creature gains 1 from the source, this creature gains 1 from the supply. So I want to get a Charming creature. So I am thinking I am going to take this creature, place it into play just like that as my first of 2 optional actions. Then I am going to make this a Charming creature just like that. Now that I played out my 2 possible potential optional actions, I will now come over here and I will take 1 energy from the source, and I will take this and I'll place it on this creature right here. This will now trigger. It says when a friendly creature gains 1 from the source, which it did, this one now gains 1 from the supply. That's the end of this player's turn. Now it goes back to player number 1, who has their hand of cards and 2 creatures in play, and we see that we have nothing left from the source. So now we need to start looking at some aggressive things, or maybe setting ourselves up for future rounds and figuring out exactly what we want to do. I am thinking that we want to protect ourselves somehow because we know we are not getting a lot of things. I am thinking that we will place this down as our creature. That's going to give us our 3rd creature that we now have. And no. Let's see here. Gotta love the decisions in this game. I think I'm not going to worry about Astral too much because I don't think that's something we need to be concerned about. I am going to take Longtail. It says when this creature gains 1 energy, it may lose 1 trait to gain 1 energy from the supply. Now I have to activate one of my creatures. So this is my hand card. This card is in my hand right now. I need to activate one of my creatures. Unfortunately, none of my creatures have any attacking power, so the only thing I will do is activate a creature and place that creature to sleep on my turn. Now we get to go back to player number 2. Player number 2 sees that we have 2 energy, there is no energy in the source, and we have our hand of cards right here. So I am thinking that we need to start figuring out how we are going to make some awesome things happen. So let's go ahead and make our charming creature. No, actually, better. We will make this creature fire breathing just like that. See, this shows you how important it is to make sure you put your traits on your characters, your creatures perfectly. This says attack. The target loses a trait of your choice. If it does, this creature gains 1 energy from the supply. So I am thinking that what we will do is we will make this our creature that we are going to activate. We're activating this creature, and our target is going to be this creature right here. So when we activate this creature, the target loses a trait of our choice. There's only 1 trait for it to lose, so it's going to go to our discard pile. We will then gain this 1 energy because we forced an opponent to lose a trait. And then Charm is going to go off. It says when a friendly creature gains 1 from the source, like it did right here, this one gains 1 from the supply. Oops. No, it's source. Darn it. That won't go off. Oh well, doesn't really matter. I should have paid better attention. So that's actually not going to go off because it wasn't from the source. I forgot that only does source, not supply, so that was my error. But they did cause some problems for us by removing one of our traits, and we still see that they do have a total of 3 energy versus our 1 energy, and not a lot of things we can do. So I'm thinking that we want to keep this card in our hand because that's basically what we're thinking. So we will not play anything down. This will be our hand card. We will not evolve. We will simply put another one of our creatures to sleep. Back to player number 2. We have our hand of cards. We have Vengeful, and we have Fearsome, and Astral, and Toxic. I am thinking that we are going to place this creature into play, and we will go Fearsome just like that. I think that's going to be the thing we're going to do. That is going to completely empty out our hand, so the only person who has any cards left in our hand is going to be player number 1. So player 1 will go ahead and take their turn, and they don't want to get rid of this card quite yet. We will simply take our action of placing this creature asleep. Now we go back to player number 2, who is going to very easily, when that attacked, I went to sleep. I forgot. I apologize. But on their turn, they are simply going to place their 1 creature to sleep. This player gets their turn again. Do not want to place this, so we are going to skip our turn. Back to player number 2, who will put and take their 3rd creature and place them to sleep. That's basically going to end the very first round of the game. So now that we've ended the round of the game, the first thing we are going to do is we're going to take the discard, the source card, draw a new source card, which is going to give us 4 energy. That will change things up just a little bit from the steep edge right there. After that, the next thing we are going to do is every single player is going to remove all the sleep tokens on all of the creatures they happen to have in play. Place those back in the draw pile right there. And then each player is going to new hand of cards. We'll gain 2 cards plus 1 since we have 1 creature with energy on it for a total of 3 cards, meaning that our hand is now 4 cards. Then over here we see that we have 2 creatures with energy on it, so player 2 gains 1 card, 2 card, and since they have 2 creatures with energy on them, they will gain 2 more cards. Last thing we will do is we will switch the player token over to player number 2, who's going to start round number 2. So let's go ahead and look at our hand of cards and see exactly what we have here. Astral, long-tailed, metamorphic, long-tailed, charming, lulling. Oh, lulling can be so darn fun. We're going to be mean. We are going to be so mean. I will place, let's see, oh, this is going to be fun. I will place lulling down just, oops, sorry. Let's respect player order because that's the important thing we must always do. I will place this creature down like that. So now we have 4 creatures in play. I will then go ahead and evolve a creature. So now we have a fire-breathing, lulling creature just like that. Take our hand and place it off to the side. We no longer have our hand of cards. Now we need to activate one of our creatures. I am going to activate this creature right here, and we are going to attack. And our target of the attack is, do we want to do that? I think we do want to do that. It just seems perfectly great to do. Although, you know what? I think we're going to wait. Let's not do that quite yet. Let's just go ahead and take 1 from the source. So we are going to activate this creature right here. We will take 1 from the source, place it on it, and that ends player 1's turn. Now we get to go to player number 2, who has 3 creatures. One of them is fireproof with only 1 energy on it. Let's see here. I think we will place, I think we're going to work on getting Tiny to work in our favor very, very quickly. So we're not putting out a creature. Let's place those cards down right now. We are going to make this creature fireproof and charming. Then we will activate this creature who will take 1 from the source. And it says when a friendly creature gains 1 from the source, this one gains 1 from the supply as long as that keeps it at less than 2. That's going to be our second right there. I think that's going to work perfectly just like that. Yep, I think that's going to be our action. Our turn is going to be over. Now we get to go back over to player number 1 with all the cards they have available to them. Remember, we have long-tailed, ×2, metamorphic, and astral. I am thinking that we are going to do that nasty thing I wanted to do earlier. So this card will stay in our hand. We will make this a lulling, fire-breathing, metamorphic creature just like that. And then we will activate this creature and we are going to perform an attack. Our target of our attack is going to be over here. So the first thing we will do is we use metamorphic to go ahead and copy fearsome. When we copy fearsome, we allow us to copy or suppress any trait on a creature. I think we're going to suppress fireproof. So the first thing we will do is do fire breathing to get rid of fireproof. Since we got rid of a trait, that will allow us to gain 1 more. And then we will put this creature to sleep. Now, normally when we put a creature to sleep, we would gain 1 energy. Unfortunately, we're already at 4 energy, so that's not going to go off at all. So the only thing that will happen is that creature will go to sleep. Back to this player's turn really, really quick. Now, this player is needing to figure out exactly what they want to do on their turn. I had a plan, but it looks like through the meanness of the other player, we're not going to be able to do it exactly how we want to do it. I think what we will do is we will make this creature astral. Then we will take 1 from the source, activating this creature right here. Remember, when you activate creatures for the source, they do not fall asleep. That'll be it for this player's turn. Back to the other player. We have 1 card in our hand, astral and long-tailed. I think we will hold on to that. We will activate this creature right here. And we will take this energy right here from the source. And we'll place it on the fearsome creature that we activated. Now charm is going to go off. It says when a friendly creature gains 1 from the source, it gains 1 from the supply. That will be it for that player. And now we get to go back over to effectively player number 2 now. 2 cards are in hand. I am thinking that we will place, well, we were going to take 1. I think things are going to have to change just a little bit. Let's take fire breathing. Instead of pestering. Then we will activate this creature and we will fire breathe on, I think we're going to fire breathe on the fearsome creature because I don't want to deal with this. And I can't steal the energy to stop the transmutation because I don't have vampiric quite yet. If I had lulling, life would be very, very good for me. So I think what we will do is we will stop them from getting a card. So I'm going to fire breathe on him. He will lose the fearsome trait. Since we force them to lose a trait, we will gain 1 energy and fall asleep. Now we get to go back to this player. 1 card still in their hand, Astral and Long-tailed. Long-tailed says when this one gains 1 energy, it may lose a trait to gain 1 from the supply once per turn. Now if I had a way of gaining energy, that might be worth doing. So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to add Long-tail onto this charming creature just like that. So now when he gains energy, even though Charming is not going to be that great, I can discard Charming since it doesn't do me much good anymore and keep Long-tailed, which might be a good combination. Now I must look at all my creatures and I must put one of them to sleep because I can't attack anymore. So let's go ahead and put this one all the way over here and put that one to sleep. Back over to this player, they have 1 card in their hand. I am not thinking we want to do anything because next turn we'll use the Tiny to go ahead and transform him. So let's not do that yet. Let's go and put our 3rd creature to sleep. Back over to player, effectively player number 1. They will put this creature to sleep. This player does nothing. Back to this player, they'll put that creature to sleep, and that's going to end the round. So we'll take this source card right here, flip over the next source card, and now we got something that cares about caring. I did not mean to say that. Actually, I kind of meant to say that. Cares about caring. Okay, we filled the source. All of our creatures will now go ahead and wake up completely. And then 2 cards plus 2 more. 1, 2. And this player right here is going to gain 5 cards because we have 3 creatures with at least 1 energy source on it. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards for this player. Last thing that's going to happen is the player token is going to switch over here, and now this is going to be the first player. Starting with player number 1, looking at everything we have, I'm pretty sure I know what my tactic's going to be. Wow, we got lots and lots of tinies. And I have caring. I think we're going to be A-okay. We also have vampiric. Wow, since I have vampiric, it's almost worth it for me to do something a little bit different. You know what? I am going to do something a little bit different. I was actually having a plan, but let's be a little bit more interesting in this game. Let's take vampiric, add it to this creature right here. Nope, he's astral. Bad idea. Bad idea. Bad idea. I forgot he is astral. That would not work out. But this would work. Let's go ahead and make that one vampiric. I will activate this creature just like that. He's going to attack my opponent, and if target is going to lose 1 energy. I'm going to make this one lose energy, and that means let's go to supply, and I will gain it because vampiric will go ahead and trigger. I will also go ahead and trigger fire breathing at this point to go ahead and make it lose. Let's make it lose fire breathing so it cannot return the favor. Now normally, since I destroyed a trait in another creature, I'd gain 1 more, but since I cannot because I'm at the max, although if it would have been a carrying creature, then and only then I may have transferred the extra. That's the only time that would have worked out, but I think that was a better strategy for us. This creature will now fall asleep, and now we get to go back to this player right here who has a nice full hand of cards and lots of creatures. Let us make this one fire breathing. And then we will go ahead and activate this creature, and we're going to gain 1 from the source. Then we'll activate Long-tailed, which allows us to get rid of this right here. And then that will allow us to gain 1 from the supply, meaning that creature now has 4 energy on it. And that was kind of worth it, I think, at this point. Because now we're getting ready to evolve a couple extra creatures. That will end our turn. Now we get to come back over to this player right here who needs to figure out what they want to do. I am thinking if only we had pestering, life would be awesome. So I am going to not play any cards. I have 2 tinies. I'm going to take advantage of that so darn well here in just a second. Let's see here. Tiny, tiny carrying. Carrying. I think what we will do is we will place this on top of that one. I will activate this creature right here, and I will gain 1 from the source. It says when this creature gains 1 from the source, it may transfer 1 from it to a friendly creature once per turn. I'll transfer that just over here, just like that. That will end our turn, and now we get to go back over to the other player. Source is empty unless we do carrying. If I do carrying, I'm thinking that is what we want to do, but just not yet. I think the first thing we will do is we will go ahead and handle our first evolution. So instead of playing out any cards at all, we are going ahead and choose to evolve this creature right here. So we'll discard all the energy on this creature. The creature itself will be fully discarded. The creature plus any of the traits it may have had. They will go to the discard pile, and then we will gain our very first of our tokens we need to go ahead and work towards victory winning the game. If we get our 3rd one of these, we instantly win the game. So that'll be it for the player number 2, or the player to my right at this point. Let's go back over here to this player and look at our hand of cards. So I have 1 asleep, 2 awake, and I have the carrying trait over there. I'm going to save the tiny, I think. We will activate this one, take 1 from the source, transfer it over here to our astral creature just like that. Nope, actually, that's a bad idea. That is a totally, totally bad idea. I can see how that would be horrible because actually they're not vampiric. I'm going to take a gamble and assume that my opponent is not vampiric. Maybe. Let's go ahead and do this. We will take it. Carrying will trigger. Going over here, ending our turn. Now back over to this player right here, who has 3 creatures in play and a hand of cards they can go ahead and use. I think we want to take advantage of the carrying pool as quickly as possible. But we want to stop the generation that they have going on over there. So I am thinking we will... Oh, we're going to be mean. It's all about having fun. We will not place out any traits at all. We are going to activate this card, and we are going to perform an attack. So this one is attacking. Our target will be this creature right here. And I think we're going to do that because we want to lull to sleep before they get the chance to transform. So this is the attacker. This will be the defender over here. We will go ahead and place this one to sleep. We will also fall asleep, but since we put a creature to sleep, I did that in the wrong order, but you know what's going on here. That's going to give us our 4th token right there. It is also metamorphic and not astral. Oh, darn it, I just cheated. Let's go ahead and backtrack. Let's not be a dirty cheater because that is not a good thing. I forgot it's completely astral. He is completely protected right there. As I've said many, many times, I will never ever make a playthrough video where I don't make at least 1 mistake. It's like just destined to happen. As hard as I try, as well as I play these games many, many times before I film these videos, I'm always going to make 1 mistake because I'm trying to keep the videos entertaining and show you as much gameplay as possible, and I always end up screwing up. Just something I got to accept these days because it sits there and makes me go, I just want to make it perfect every time. Oh well, back onto the game here. So since there's no way we can stop this from transforming on this player's turn, I think what we will do is we'll at least slow him down with this carrying creature so it can't steal all the carrying supplies. So I will activate this creature right here, which has the power of fire breathing. And this will actually work out a-okay, I think, if I play it just like this. So this is one I'm going to activate. This will be the target right here. And then what we will do is we will make this lose a trait. Since we successfully made it lose a trait from fire breathing, we will gain a token, and then our creature will fall asleep. Now we get to go back to this player right here who has all their cards they have in their hand. Looking at all the cards that we have in our hand, I think what we will simply do, since we can't access the source anymore, since we're no longer carrying, I think what we will do is we will go ahead and do an evolution. So we will evolve this creature right here. All those cards will go in the discard pile, and we will gain our very first evolution. That will be the end of our turn, and now we get to go back over to this player right here who has their 3 creatures plus their hand of cards. Looking at the hand of cards, I am thinking we want to get a charming creature out there as quickly as possible. So what I will do is I will take charming, place it on this creature just like that. Now that we have a creature that is charming, we will activate our charming creature, take 1, oops, no, it's charming versus caring. Did I not have caring? I did, that's what I meant, caring. Now we will take our caring creature, sorry, and we will take that 1 energy from the source, and then we will transfer it over here just like that. That'll end this player's turn. Back to this player who would love to have a pestering card right about now. I am thinking that I want to make sure I keep this one protected from any bad things happening, so let's go ahead and make it astral. Can't put anything else out there. Can't take anything from the source. I think that will end our turn, and we will simply put this creature to sleep. Back to this player right over here, we have, well, they put themselves to sleep before anything had happened, so let's go ahead and take 1 from caring, and let's go ahead and move that over to our fire-breathing creature just like that. So that is our turn just like that. This players are asleep, so we go back over here. This player will do their second transformation. Gaining their second transformation. If they gain 1 more transformation, this player is going to win the game. They're not going to put out any other cards. They're happy with the results from that. This player comes back to their turn. They are looking at everything out there, and I am thinking that what we will want to do, we're going to be player number 2 next round, which is going to be a little bit painful. So let's do that. Can't activate. Our turn is over. Back to this player. They will put their last creature to sleep, and that will end the turn for both our players. Let's go ahead and clean everything up. So energy source will be expired. Draw 3 new energy for the new source from the solar snare. Players lose their sleep tokens. This player will gain 3 cards. This player will also gain 3 cards. And then the first player token will switch to the next player over there. Now let's go ahead and start the new round and looking at all the cards that we have to go ahead and play on all our different actions. Now remember, if we do just 1 more transformation, we will instantly win the game. I'm thinking we want to keep this one as protected as possible, because otherwise life is going to get very, very difficult for us. So let's go ahead and keep him protected. So we will play 1 creature down, just in case we need backup, and then we will go ahead and do flying to protect that creature. Then we will take 1 energy from the source. This will be our activated creature, and then we get to go back over to this player right here. He needs to figure out a way to get rid of that fire-breathing creature before that player wins the game. So looking at all the cards we have, we don't have the ability to fly, so we don't have any way to steal or stop anything from happening there. So let's just go ahead and, actually we do. Oh, we do. Actually, I can do something. Oh, no, I can't. So close. It was so close. Oh, if I only had 1 more thing I could do, I could almost quite do it, because I have Fearsome, which could actually suppress the flying ability. But I have Astral right here, which kind of puts a damper on that. That kind of messes it up. I can't stop it. Because I have the Vampiric, which allowed me to actually steal the energy. So looking at our hand of cards here, it looks like our options are actually pretty darn slim. Now, it could have been very, very close because Fearsome can suppress flying. If I would have been able to have a creature, this creature not astral, since it's vampiric, what I could have did is used it to attack that flying creature with Fearsome and then remove through vampiric, get rid of the flying trait. Actually, I could have even did that. It would have been perfect. Stolen one of the energy and prevented it from evolving. So that would have been so fantastic if I could have did that. Unfortunately, unless I'm missing something, I can't see any way to stop that player from winning on their next turn. Fearsome would have been the only thing I could have used, but flying was the only thing that protected him. So let's just go ahead and end the game. Let's go ahead and just do a final transmutation, gaining at least a second transmutation for this player. Oops, a second transmutation for this player. And then we will go back over to this player who will take, as their action, they'll bypass the first two optional things, transmute this creature, gaining their third transmutation token, and instantly winning the game. Hope you enjoyed this gameplay video showing you exactly how to play the game of Evolution Another World. Like I said, as a two-player game, the game is very, very quick. We're not sitting there trying to explain all the actions that you're trying to do in your turn. It is very easy, a 20-minute game, very, very easily. Much like games such as Race for the Galaxy, which are other famous card games in which I'll allow you to use multi-use cards, that plays very, very quickly. This game is very much in that vein. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the video series. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you leave them down in the YouTube comments down below. I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as I can. You can also feel free to email me, off-the-shelf board game reviews. That is ots@bgr@gmail.com. I do my best to answer those questions as quickly as I can. If you enjoy the content and you think you enjoy the videos, think about tossing $1 in the tip jar over on Patreon. $1 tip jar is a phenomenal way to say thanks. Again, this channel is 100% sponsor free. You can help keep the channel growing strong, but you don't even have to do that. 2 seconds and 2 mouse clicks. Click that like, click that subscribe button. Tells everybody out there this is a channel worth watching. As always, thanks for watching. Check out the other videos in the series. Gameplay, overview, how to play, review, and that solo gameplay video. And as always, thanks for watching.